When games come out, you get charged a premium, and games ain't cheap. They never really have been, but now with all of the nickel and diming, it's much worse. But also, it doesn't last too long. After a period of time, you start seeing those deep discounts, whether on one of the console stores or on Steam. The prices get better. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, the 20 best recent games that are now dirt cheap. Starting off at number 20, it's Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. For anyone looking for cheap games, one of the best places to start is with AAA single-player games that underperform. These things always end up selling for pretty deep discounts fairly regularly, and Guardians was no exception. Most online stores sell it for $60 retail, but it's sometimes on sale where it drops around $15 usually, and it's been known to go as low as $10. That's an 83% discount. The game's cheap, and it may not have sold the millions of copies Square Enix wanted, but it's one of the best Marvel games to date. Still looks fantastic, got a great soundtrack, and the story's actually surprisingly engaging, and it's thankfully not nearly as cringy as the pre-release trailers made it look. For $10, it's a steal. At number 19 is Ghost Runner 2. It's Ghost Runner, but more, and that's all right with me. It does throw in the motorcycle, which is a fantastic addition. It's also still practically new, but you can already get it on sale for around $9.99 on multiple online stores. It's a noteworthy discount by itself. I mean, the game usually goes for $40, but the all-time low is a shocker. Last year, you could get this game on Voodoo for $1.29. That's crazy cheap for a game that is as good as this one. At the end of the day, it's more Ghost Runner, like I said. They made a few changes to make the game a little less frustrating. There's more variety. The motorcycle parts are real cool. The boss fights are better. Not a total upgrade from the first game, but cool additions, and for $10, more Ghost Runner is a solid deal. At number 18 is Ghostwire Tokyo, another game that didn't make that big of a splash, but since it originally came out, they've made a lot of big improvements to the game, and it's a lot more fun to play. The game is normally $59.99, and it's about 2 years old now, and it's consistently on sale for around $15. At time of writing, it's down to $13.79, but the all-time low is even cheaper at $11.95, an 80% discount. If you don't care about Game Pass, it's a pretty solid price for a pretty solid game. The actual gameplay is pretty basic, but Ghostwire Tokyo has immaculate vibes, and really, when you're playing a first-person open-world game, that's a large part of the equation, especially when you can get it this cheap. At number 17 is Sniper Elite 5, the next entry in the long-running Sniper Elite series. Took about a year to start seeing some solid price drops, but now you can find it on sale between $9.99 and $14.99, pretty much all over the place. The all-time low is about $9.24, which is an 82% discount. It's a great deal for a game that doesn't necessarily reinvent the wheel, but it has the biggest, most elaborate levels in a Sniper Elite game yet. The stages are really massive, they're detailed, and a ton of fun to explore. It's like Hitman if the levels were 2 to 3 times as big, and in which you can snipe an entire platoon of bad guys if you get bored of the sneaky stuff. It's challenging, and the huge levels can be exhausting because seriously, they can stretch on and on. But it's one of the most satisfying things, just slowly dismantling a base piece by painstaking piece. At number 16 is Blasphemous 2. Sure, this sequel is mostly just the first game all over again, and that does hurt its appeal in some ways, but it's otherwise, I have to say it, a better game. The controls are tighter, the environments have more variety, and for the most part, it's only a little less weird than the original game. That's the only downside. The story kind of gets, I don't know, samey. It just feels like we're doing the first game again. And the bosses are generally less grotesquely creative, but in pretty much every other way, the game is better made and more fun. The best thing about it, might I add, the spikes don't kill you instantly anymore. It's not cheap for being an indie. It normally runs $29.99, but recently it's been going on sale for 50% off at $14.99. But if you're willing to wait, it goes even lower to $11.24 at times, 63% off. For a game from 2023, that's a pretty steep discount. And number 15 is Hogwarts Legacy. Say what you want about this game, but it's proven to be an extremely popular game that got really solid reviews across the board. It may not be the most ambitious game, but it is definitely well made. For people who may be interested in giving it a try but don't want to pay full retail for it, which is probably what I would have been if this wasn't, how I make it a money. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I do like this game quite a bit, actually. It does go on sale for pretty significant discounts. You can get it for $20 on a lot of the marketplaces, but if you want to wait, you can find it at $14.24, a full 75% off. For a price that low, it's easy to overlook the game's slightly more glaring flaws, just focus on the fun stuff like wandering around the castle, becoming a mini serial killer, and casting death on everyone. It's fun. At number 14 is Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. With Baldur's Gate 3 refusing to budge on price, it's nice to see that the other great recent CRPG is significantly cheaper to get. The second Pathfinder game, it is an excellent RPG that fixes pretty much all of the first game's mistakes. It's massive, you can easily spend over 100 hours or more on it, so you're getting a lot for what you're putting in. It's not much either. The game generally sells for $40, but it goes on sale all the time. At time of writing, it is $11.99 or 70% off, multiple storefronts. If you want to wait, you can get it even cheaper. I've seen it as low as $7.79, which is 81% off. At number 13 is Monster Hunter Rise, a Switch game. So graphically, the most recent Monster Hunter at the time of writing wasn't the best looking game, but gameplay-wise, it's the fastest Monster Hunter yet, also the cheapest. While World generally hovers around $20 on sale, Rise often drops to just $9.99. It's also been known to go as low as $7.01, which is 82% off, which is a steal for a game with as much content as this one. You don't get the expansion at that price, but the base game should give most Monster Hunters more than enough to keep them busy for $10. In presentation, Rise is a throwback to the older Monster Hunter games, but in practice, a lot of what's going on in this game is going to be incorporated into Monster Hunter Wild. It's not just a side game, it's a true continuation. Honestly, in a lot of ways, I like it better than World. In some ways, I don't, but yeah, it's a great game. At number 12 is the Resident Evil 4 Remake. Capcom's always a solid source for some of the best games that are also dirt cheap. Take Resident Evil 4's remake from last year. Online, you can already buy it for $40. It's often on sale on Steam for $22.59. And if you really want to get it cheap, it has gone in deep discount as low as $14.40, less than $15 for one of the best remakes of one of the best games of all time. It's the remake nobody thought needed to be made, but Capcom kind of proved us all wrong. You might still prefer the original, but that it's even in question proves how good the remake is. It's one of those games where individual changes might spawn arguments about which one is better, but overall the remake is excellent. And in my opinion, it's unambiguously good that the tank controls are gone. Also, the addition of a breakable knife that can parry most attacks makes the combat more active and intense. It's a brilliantly designed game that looks and sounds great, so getting it a year after it originally came out for only $15 is a no-brainer if you're a Resident Evil fan. At number 11 is Gravity Circuit. There are so many retro indie games that the ones that stand out anymore really have to be something special, which is exactly what Gravity Circuit is. It's a Mega Man-like, but the quality is spectacular. It's old school, but just a massive amount of fun. It's cheap, too. Normally, it's at the slightly high price of $16.99, but it's $6.80. I mean, that's like 60% off, but it's a good price. What makes the game so great is the many movement powers you have access to. It's a speedrunner's dream game, and it can also be played by just about anybody. At number 10 is Warhammer 40k Darktide. The co-op follow-up to Vermintide had a rough start, but it's been getting better with each update. It's a great-looking game. It's got some of the best co-op action out there, but it's not cheap. So discounts make a big difference. Currently, the best price you can get the game for is $21.99. That's 45% off, but you can do better. The all-time lowest price is $16.92, which is a full 58% off, which still isn't the cheapest thing, but it's better than the $40 the game normally sells for. At number 9 is Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered. The original Tomb Raider games are kind of an acquired taste. The tank controls and precision platforming is going to scare some people off who aren't here for it, but if you are, there's a solid remaster of 3 stone-cold classic games. Not cheap, $30 is a big asking price for such old games, but the sale prices are way more reasonable. You can get it on Steam for $14.99, but the historical lows are even better. If you're willing to wait, the collection has dropped to even $12. The first game's probably still the best, even if it's the most archaic, but in some ways that works in its favor. The lack of enemies really plays to the strengths of these games, which is actually the platforming. It takes some serious getting used to, but they have a certain atmosphere to them that makes them really good despite any jankiness. At number 8 is LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, easily the best LEGO game in a long time. It's perfect for parents, kids, and kids at heart, which is the nice way of saying man baby, I guess. And I don't mean that as an insult. I know somebody will take it that way, but it's not. It's a fun game, and here's a plus. It might help you decipher what the hell is supposed to be going on in Rise of Skywalker. On digital storefronts, it's $50, but it's on sale all the time for a lot less. Currently, the best price you can get is $11.49, which is 77% off, but it's gotten to the full 80% discount at times at just $9.99. At number 7 is Doom Eternal. This crazy FPS is a game everyone should experience at least once. You can't really call yourself a true gamer in the contemporary times unless you have had to suffer through the Marauder. Now, this game is hard as hell, but it's crazy cheap. Like, this game is going for like $9 on some storefronts. It's gone even lower than that, though. You can get it at $6.99 if you're really looking. Come on, guys. Get the price to $6.66. You're already so close. Doom Eternal isn't really like the old Doom games. It's something new and different. More of an action game in first person than in retro FPS, but man, it's a hell of a game. At number 6 is Severed Steel. There's so many great FPS indies coming out, but Severed Steel is probably the standout, with its slowdown time powers and lightning-fast, brutal gameplay. It's a fantastic FPS that's a ton of fun to play, but the regular price is just a bit high at $24.99. The sale price, spectacular though. It goes down a full 90% off to $2.49, and it is one of the best indie FPS games in the last few years. It's fast, furious, at times extremely tough, but it all goes by so fast you can jump back into the action in no time. And hey, you don't just die instantly, so it's not quite as frustrating as it could be. At number 5 is Resident Evil Village. Whether Village or the Resi 4 remake is better is up to you, but the one thing that is not up for debate is which is cheaper. Yes, Remake is getting cheaper, but Village, they're just practically given away. The game often goes down to $15.95, which is 60% off, but it has been known to go as low as $6.79, which is 83% off. This is a first-person Resi game, and it feels like practice for what they eventually did with the remake of 4. It's got a shopkeeper, weapons to upgrade, a rundown old town to explore, and a campier atmosphere compared to the grindhouse horror of 7. It's an oddball game, but when it comes to pure horror fun, it's one of the best games in the series. At number 4 is Marvel's Midnight Suns, another Marvel game, another game that underperformed, but is actually a lot better than you might think. Created by Fireaxis, the guys behind the XCOM games, Midnight Suns is a tactical RPG that's also kind of a visual novel. Weird combination, but it does work. It's a game people might be cautious to try out, but you're not losing much with how much has been marked down lately. It consistently goes on sale for $11.99, but it's gotten even lower. Certain storefronts have had it for $10.44, which is 83% off. It's cheap, but don't let that fool you. It is a big budget game through and through. The card-based system is kind of weird, but the way you make friends and interact with the heroes on the team is often pretty charming, if not unusual. It's just a really unusual game for having the sort of budget it's got. It's often cheesy as hell, but it is a Marvel game. So the writing, while cheesy, can also be very charming. The tactical battles are fast and fun. It's a minor classic that has been unfortunately overlooked, but hey, it is at least cheap. And number 3 is the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. They finally brought the missing Ace Attorney games over to the West in 2021 with the great Ace Attorney Chronicles collection, which combines 2 of the best games in the entire Ace Attorney series in one package. It's one of the best stories in one of Capcom's best series, and now it's also very cheap. $39.99 is a lot to ask for what's essentially a visual novel with, puzzles thrown in, but on discount the game's totally worth it. It's currently selling for $13.75 online, but it can go even cheaper. Lowest known price goes all the way down to $11.94, which is 70% off. And number 2 is Inscryption, a 2021 indie that is so much more than it seems. It's a game that starts off as one thing, but eventually becomes something completely different, and then crazier from there. It's a cool game that you don't even have to dig in deeper past the standard roguelike mode, and for $7.99, it's definitely worth it compared to the normal $20 price. This one's really just way more than it appears to be. And finally, at number 1 is Dredge, a humble indie game that combines 2 things that are great together: fishing and cosmic horror. Unique mixture, I know, but it works perfectly and adds some much-needed danger to the basic gameplay loop of netting fish. Normally sells for $24.99. Its normal sales aren't super noteworthy, with a 45% discount to $13.74, which is pretty good, but its historical low is $1.71, a massive 83% discount. And on a game that's only been around for a year, that's a hell of a drop, especially for one that, for more or less, has done pretty well. I doubt we'll see the game lower in price much again anytime soon, but at less per the price of a candy bar at a gas station, Dredge is a steal. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment, let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter, Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time, right here on GameRanx.